Hey, it's Patrick from JP Cycles, and today I'm talking specifically to the new motorcyclists out there, or those of you who may be thinking about becoming a new motorcyclist. Everybody loves modifying their motorcycle. I love modifying a motorcycle, but if you're a first-time rider, those modifications are probably gonna be a little bit different and maybe take a little bit different path than you've been riding for a long time. There's a ton of information out there, Instagram influencers, sisters, brothers, uncles, neighbors. Everybody has an opinion on what you should do to your motorcycle. I actually have an opinion also, and I'm gonna give you my top 5 things that you should do to your bike as a brand new motorcyclist. First modification I would do as a new motorcyclist is lighting. I know everybody wants to throw that exhaust on their bike and have it sound cool and look cool. Upgrading to LEDs all the way around the bike, good way to get your feet wet into working on your bike. And you're gonna be seen a lot more by other motorcyclists and motorists on the road. And with an LED headlight, you're gonna be able to see a lot farther in front of you in low light situations. Lighting can also help with the aesthetics of the bike, especially with turn signals. You can get them to smaller units that look cooler, that are way brighter than stock. The second modification I would do would be the seat. Being comfortable on a motorcycle is really, really key, especially when you're new to riding a motorcycle, to give you confidence and will result in you actually handling your motorcycle better. And a seat is not only can improve the comfort to sit on, it actually put you in the place you want to be. Shorter riders can get seats that move them farther up in the saddle. Taller riders can get flatter seats to move them back a little bit, and both of those will result in you feeling more comfortable on your bike and being in better control of it. Also, going on long rides and not being uncomfortable and being distracted is really important as a new motorcyclist. So the third modification would be rear suspension. As far as an install, this is gonna be a little more difficult than the first two, but also not that hard. If you have a friend to help you lift the bike, or you can just block it up, this is pretty easy for most bikes. A couple of bolts either side, you can swap out the suspension. And one of the things this does is this goes back to feeling comfortable on the motorcycle. Whether you wanna lower your motorcycle so you can get both feet flat on the ground when you come to a stop, or if you wanna raise it up a little bit if you have longer legs, or if you want more ground clearance, this allows you to tune your bike to yourself, so to speak. Also, when riding the bike, obviously this is going to help you be in better control of the motorcycle, or if you get into like a weird pothole situation or something like that, this is gonna help you deal with those, or rather than that stock suspension, it can bottom out, kind of bounce you sideways on the bike. This is gonna eat up those bumps in the road and keep you going smooth down the road. And the fourth modification would be handlebars. And I know what you're thinking, that's probably a bit much for a beginner to take on as far as a modification, and I would partially agree with you. If you can change your handlebars without changing any of your cables or lines, that's a great way to, again, tune that bike to you, get you more comfortable on the bike, put your hands in a position you feel more comfortable. You say, well, how do I know if I have to change my cables and lines? Well, as luck would have it, we have a video for that. I'll link you to that. It's a way to measure your lines and cables in advance so you know if a handlebar will work on your bike without changing all of those. Other thing you can do besides changing your bars to move these bars in a place where you may be more comfortable is just simply change the riser. If you have the room in the cables and the lines, you can move the bars up, you can move them back, you can move them wherever you want to move them, up and back, just to get you more comfortable on the bike. I would recommend getting some handlebars on your motorcycle that you feel comfortable with. For the fifth and final modification, I kind of threw a couple of things together because they all work together, and that's intake, exhaust, and tuning. And a lot of people are gonna say, that's what I'm doing first. But as a new motorcyclist, I don't think that's most beneficial to you. Having a few extra horsepower isn't gonna benefit you. Having your pipes be louder isn't gonna benefit you. Being able to ride your bike is gonna benefit you. So that's why I put the performance stuff on the bottom of this list. But knowing everybody wants to do this, and trust me, I get it. This is my motorcycle. I have a pipe and intake and all that good stuff on it too. And the reason I put them all together is you really should do all 3 of these at the same time if you can. Do your exhaust, your intake, and a tuner of some sort all at the same time. Otherwise, if you kind of piecemeal it together, it's gonna be a little bit tougher to tune. May chase your tune a little bit as a beginner. And if you don't have a fuel injected bike, you have a carbureted bike like this one here, plan on doing those carburetor mods or possibly swapping carburetors when you do the intake and exhaust to get the perfect amount of performance out of this and have the bike running right. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a comment in the comment section and go work on those motorcycles.